The least favorite month of the year has started with a bit of controversy. Yep, we are officially in June, and that means rainbows everywhere. The month where all corporations go out of their ways to market and get on the good side of LGBTQ community to make big bucks through their very diverse and progressive marketing campaigns. No wonder then that the controversy we're going to talk about revolves around two very famous individuals, and I think because it's June and people are already sick of this month, the whole thing blew up more than I thought it would. So one famous person we are going to talk about is Miss Rachel. Mega popular kids performer, YouTuber, called by some parents an honorary or third parent. Apparently kids absolutely love Miss Rachel. She's basically raising a new generation of humans glued to the screen. Here is an example of her content.
Can you say mama, mama? Can you say mama's name? Can you say mama, mama? Can you say mama's name?
Guys, babies love her. Internet is full of videos of little ones reacting to Miss Rachel. They smile, they clap, they are completely mesmerized. I'd show you, but I don't want to post babies on my channel. You know I'm against posting children on the internet. But believe me, babies love her. She is also thought of the good type of content for your child. As in, it's educational, helps them develop, and so on. So why would an individual like Miss Rachel, lovely Miss Rachel, who makes our kids so happy, found herself in a wave of internet hate? Well, she angered her fans with the comments she left on Dylan Mulvaney's post, the other famous person I was referring to at the beginning. In case you don't know who Dylan is, here is a quick summary for you. A biological man who started a series on TikTok when he decided to become a girl. He named it Days of Girlhood. The series became viral. Dylan, under the pretext of transition, mocked womanhood while making millions of dollars. Dylan also was named a Woman of the Year, featured on Forbes 30 Under 30, was hired by brands like Nike and MAC, promoting sports bras and other women items, was invited to White House. Then there was a whole Bud Light campaign fiasco, which I talk about here. And this is the type of content Dylan became famous for. Have a look.
Day 74, being a girl, round of applause for the makeup. And I wore this outfit shopping today. And I thought that these might be my new shopping shorts. But I was walking around and everyone was staring. And I was like, oh, okay, what's going on? And they were all staring directly at my crotch. And I went, oh, I forgot that my crotch doesn't look like other women's crotches sometimes because mine doesn't look like a little Barbie pocket. I thought, okay, Dylan, you have some options here. Number one, you can stop wearing clothes that fit like this.
Ah, women problems, right? Bulge. You know, you gotta feel for the girl. Ugh. So let's get to what happened exactly. But before we do, please take a second to like and share this video. That's all, just that. I'll greatly appreciate it and it will help my channel a lot. So anyway, Yahoo Entertainment wrote, when Miss Rachel left a comment for Mulvaney saying, sometime when you're in New York City, you should be on our show, Songs for Littles. We love you and your singing. It infuriated some who then began bashing the YouTube host in TikTok videos. The internet is clearly divided, with some standing up for Miss Rachel and others sharing why their children won't be allowed to watch Miss Rachel ever again. So here is the comment we are talking about. She wrote under this video. And then you see the comments. Yes, a Miss Rachel and Dylan collab is what us moms need. No, we don't. Oh, here, absolutely not. This comment I agree with. I would skip that episode. Why? Why does a kid show need a singing Dylan Mulvaney? Is that the best place for someone so controversial? Here is one opinion I found. Have a look.
I always knew Miss Rachel would receive this kind of backlash. It was just a matter of when she was going to receive it. But it is a little interesting because since the very beginning of her show, she's had Jules as one of the entertainers, and Jules is very obviously, clearly a queer individual. Now, I will agree, Dylan Mulvaney is not the correct person to bring on Songs for Littles. Not only has Dylan Mulvaney publicly mocked women multiple times, but it also just wouldn't make sense for Miss Rachel to bring Dylan on because Miss Rachel has been a huge advocate for women's rights. But I have a feeling people don't want Dylan on because she is a trans woman. And they don't want their kids seeing trans individuals on television. Which is very silly because I can assure you, your child seeing a trans man or a trans woman on the TV isn't going to make them want to be trans. And I want to reiterate this. If you knew anything about Miss Rachel, you've been watching her for long enough, you would know that she would never try to push that onto children.
Yeah, I disagree. There is a reason we don't expose children to certain things like violence, for example, because we know it will influence them negatively. Every experience, every word, everything they hear and see is shaping them. So if they grow up watching men in dresses while telling them those are women, at the very least they will be very confused. No need for that. And when it comes to Jules, that's a whole other problem. Well, I was going to say originally that I don't see a problem with this character. I think it's a biological woman who dresses very neutrally and sings songs. There was some momentary face piercings controversy, but I couldn't really pinpoint anything inappropriate. Until I found out that Jules performed at the Chicago's Queer Femme Pride Jam in May or beginning of June, advertised as a family-friendly event. I'm sorry, any event for kids that has a drag queen performing at it should be an immediate no. Of course, a booty-shaking man in women's caricature clothing, taking money from kids, how appropriate. So I'm sorry, anybody who supports this type of thing is not okay, meaning Jules. By performing on this event, obviously Jules supports this type of thing. But going back to Dylan Mulvaney thing, here is one of the comments about Miss Rachel inviting Dylan on the show. I want the kids to see some of this so we can tell them that even though we don't believe in their lifestyle, we should accept it. Why we should accept it? Why do we have to? Why? Why do we have to accept everything and everyone? And I'm not spitting hate here. I'm not encouraging anybody to bully or hurt anyone. That's not acceptable in my book. But what's acceptable is an individual opinion. If after studying, reading, and investigating certain issue inside out from each side, I form my opinion, it is my right. I don't have to accept everything and everyone. I can choose who to hang out with, who to watch, who to look up to, who to relate to, who to strive to be like. It's my right to not be okay with some values others represent. Doesn't give me the right to harm them, obviously, but I do not have to accept anything. And my kids do not have to accept everything either. Kids are a great example of how our purest natural social instincts work. They simply either like someone or they don't. They will either play with them or not, and they are very unapologetic about it. They don't care. They don't have to play with everybody. They can't bully or hurt them, but they certainly don't have to be friends with them if they don't want to. Someone else said, someone is always mad about something. Miss Rachel is for children, not adults, and children see people, not genders. And someone answered, that's funny, my kids see genders and have asked when they have seen why does that man have makeup on and a skirt that looks silly, mom. That's from a kid. All my life years on earth, this is the most stupidity I have ever seen. A kid will call it for what it is, a man in a skirt. So the comment left by Miss Rachel is actually from a year ago. No episodes with Dylan Mulvaney happened, but for some reason people dug it out now. Probably Pride Month is making people extra diligent. Here is another creator talking about Miss Rachel and Dylan's situation.
I may lose some followers for this, I might gain some followers from this, but I know I'm not the only one who's seeing this Miss Rachel and Dylan Mulvaney stuff on their For You pages. Also in a bunch of mom groups on Facebook, and everyone is like freaking out about it, so I want to share my opinion about it. My daughter is 17 months old, and for at least the first 12 months, she was like zero screen time. Like, I was not a screen time parent. Therefore, my daughter has never watched Miss Rachel, simply because 1, I did not want her having screen time, and 2, I just wasn't a fan of Miss Rachel. Recently, I started letting my daughter watch a little bit of TV here and there towards the evening when I'm trying to cook dinner and my husband's not home. And these are TV shows that I watched when I was a kid, like Teletubbies and Barney. It is a crazy and very different world that we live in now than what I grew up in. And as a parent, I get to choose what my daughter is exposed to. That means I will be protecting her from this crazy and honestly disgusting world that we live in nowadays. Call me old school if you want, but I will be raising my daughter to believe that boys are boys, girls are girls.
First of all, bravo for limited screen time and full control over what your kid is watching. Always check the shows your children are watching. Always. Second of all, yes, it is your right as a parent to choose what your kid will be exposed to. I think when someone says, I'll teach my kids that boys are boys, girls are girls, doesn't mean they will be spending time telling their kids to hate anyone that's different. No. They will teach the kids the norm, basic biology, what's natural. And then when their kids grow up and have questions about other things, that's when we explain what else is out there as a parent. And definitely not under you have to accept everyone and everything command. Anyway, as already mentioned in this episode, Miss Rachel is a huge advocate for women's rights. But let's not forget what that means today. It means all women, even those who weren't born female. So actually, it is perfectly on brand. She's a supporter of the Pride Month, as shown in this clip.
Happy Pride to all of our wonderful families and friends. This month and every month I celebrate you. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're exactly who you are. To those who are going to comment they can't watch the show anymore because of the support, no worries and much love your way. God bless. I am not chasing fame or views. I'm standing strong in love.
Why is everyone so concerned about losing followers? Why do they feel the need to mention it? You know, with the stuff I discuss on my channel, I'm lucky with the subscribers and followers I have, seriously. I don't know, this whole thing is just weird. All Pride stuff are weird to me. All I hear is, I celebrate your sex life. I'm so proud of you for having sex with whoever you want. Kids should know about this. But fine, she's obviously speaking to adults on her social media platform. She's not addressing kids here, so I'm not going to dissect it. But as other creators mentioned, her being a huge supporter of women's rights and inviting Dylan Mulvaney on the show is a bipolar move. Dylan, for example, created a song called Days of Girlhood. I won't play the music because I don't want my money to go to Dylan's studio, so I'm just gonna read some lyrics to you. Monday, can't get out of bed. Tuesday morning, pick up meds. Wednesday, retail therapy. Cash or credit, I say yes. Thursday, had a walk of shame, didn't even know his name. Weekends are for kissing friends. Friday night, I'll overspend. Saturday, we flirt for drinks, playing wingman to our twinks. Sunday, the Twilight soundtrack, cues my breakdown in the bath. Yeah, because that's what being a woman is truly about, right? Walks of shame and shopping. That's what I mean when I say Dylan is actually offensive to women. It's a caricature, a mockery. But hey, let's bring it all to the kids' show. I'm not saying Miss Rachel should be cancelled or be hated on. I don't think she deserves any of it, but since her fans are vocal and have direct way of communicating with her on social media, there should be a way to let her know that certain things should not have place in her shows, watched by millions of kids around the world. But as always, I want to know what you guys think. Are people overreacting, or Miss Rachel should not be associated with anything LGBTQ? Let me know in the comments. If you like this video, make sure to like it and share it so the algorithm will bring you back here. You can subscribe to my channel, turn on the notifications to never miss another Daily Freddo episode, and for even more content, follow me on Instagram @dailyfreddo. That's all for today. Have a good one.
And I went, oh, I forgot that my crotch doesn't look like other women's crotches.